Have you ever seen those friendship bracelets that look braided and wondered how do they make those? Well, I think I have the solution for you. With less and less people having the means to go out and buy pre-made ones or buy all the materials to make the beaded ones, I have found a way to make a friendship bracelet that's fun and cost-effective. In this video today, I will show you how to make a friendship bracelet with the materials you'll need, how to prepare your workspace, and then how to assemble it. Let's jump in! Okay, so before we can actually make our bracelet, we need to find our workspace. For your workspace, you want a flat surface, like I'm using my desk. However, you can use a table, you can use your counter, just any flat surface will do. And you're going to want to make sure it's clean because we are using tape for this, and the tape won't stick if there's any residue of dust or anything like that left on it. And as for our materials, you're going to want to grab things like string. I recommend using 3 colors if you're a beginner, but if you're more advanced or you want to be more advanced, you can use up to 5. After 5, it gets a little tricky. You're going to want to use tape so that way we can hold it down while we actually make the bracelet. And then also you're going to want to use scissors to cut the string out in order to make our actual friendship bracelet. There's also an option here for beads, but if you're beginning and you don't know how to do this, I would not recommend it. Okay, so now that we've gathered all of our materials, we can start prepping them to actually make our bracelet. To prep the string, you're going to want to take it and measure it to be about the length of your wingspan. It doesn't have to be exact, but it needs to be close, and I typically do this by doing index finger to index finger, and then once I have that measurement, I take my scissors and I cut the side that's closest to the actual string of yarn, and then I just snip it, and we have one string done. And you're going to repeat this process for each color that you have. I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera so that way we can move on to the next step. Okay, so our other 2 strings are cut, so we're going to take all of our strings, including our green one, and we're going to take our fingers, and we're going to do this with our index and our middle, and then we're going to loop our string around our fingers. It's going to create a tighter loop around, since it's around 2 fingers. So you're going to want to take a little bit of your loop and just make it looser, and then making sure to take all of your excess string from the side that you looped and stick it through that space that we just made, and then pull it tight. And then you're going to want to make sure, right now my strings aren't even, so you're going to want to make sure they're even at the ends, otherwise you're going to get a shorter bracelet and it's not really going to fit as well. Once your strings are even, you're going to want to make sure that you take your loop off of your hand and you tape it down to your flat surface before you start braiding. Okay, so once you've made your loop and you've taped it down, you're going to want to make sure it's secure, and the way you're going to do this is you're going to take both sets of strings of 3 and you're just going to lightly tug on it to make sure that that tape isn't going to come up and that loop is not going to move. And then once that's done, you're going to take your colors and you're going to separate them. You should have 2 of each, and it doesn't matter what order you do it in. You can have green with blue, blue with gray, anything like that, but you're going to want to make sure you have 2 for each set. And then you're going to just make sure it's all organized. Okay, so to make our bracelet, we're going to use the 4-knot method. And the way you do that is you take your first string, whatever color it may be, for me it's my green, and you're going to cross it over your second one. And it's going to end up looking like a 4. And then you're going to pull the strings that you crossed over tight, and then you're going to take the string that you used to cross, and you're going to pull it through, and then you're just going to pull it up to the top. And you're going to do this twice for each color, and then you're going to just repeat the process over and over until you reach your desired length. There is another way to do this one where it's you take all of your colors that you're not crossing and you put them together like this, and then you do the 4-knot over it that way. And you do that 5 or 6 times, and it creates a helical pattern in your bracelet as opposed to rows of braided string, and it looks something like this. So whether you choose to do the more simple method like how I showed you in the video, or the more advanced method with the helical design, you do have one more step before your bracelet is completely finished, and that is to make a knot at the end like this. And it's just to make sure that you can actually wear the bracelet, and you can do multiple like this to make it more adjustable, or you can do one like this so it's only one size. The way you do this is you just like we did the loop earlier, you take your string and you wrap it around, and then you loosen it a little bit, and you take whatever strings are left over and pull them through. And then once that's done, your bracelet is all finished. Okay, so quick recap. This video was a bracelet making tutorial video where I showed you the materials you'll need, how to prepare your workspace, and then also how to make the bracelet. This is an easy and cost-effective way to do that without having to break the bank. And it's with bracelets never going out of style. This is a good way to let someone know you're thinking about them or that you feel more connected to them.